I love that song, Learn to Fly. So we got to learn to fly with AI and be bold, I guess. It's a great metaphor for where we're at as an industry and how we can incorporate AI to help us solve some of our most pressing challenges. A few months ago, a core team of mine, Callie, Carl, Mark, we were having a conversation about the industry and what was happening, and we were trying to think about this year's conference, this year's report. And we had the great pleasure of having Dr. Michael Weber with the University of Texas at Austin join us. And from that conversation, this report was born, which I'm so excited about. It's so timely. And I do want to say that I recall during that conversation, I was drinking a very strong, delicious wonderful cup of coffee. So the age of AI for utilities is here, or the advent, as Todd said. And first, let's talk about some of the definitions. These are the definitions that are in the report. And what I think of AI, though, I think of it as decision engines engineered to make decisions on your behalf based on the controls and data that you place on them. And if you empower them to act, they can make decisions and take action. But I still have in the back of my mind that sometimes I'm a little worried that machines are going to take over. And it is a strange coincidence that Skynet did go live on August 29, 2024 in the most recent Terminator movie. But that's the movies. This is real life. This year's report, I have to say, I think it's some of the best research we've ever done. I hope you find it very valuable. I am just giving you the movie trailer of the report. It focuses on gas, electricity, and water, and has a lot of other, in addition to our own research, we brought in research from other people. So we focused on AI, machine learning, and edge intelligence. We gathered perceptions from 600 gas and electric utilities in 6 countries, the US, Canada, UK, France, India, and Australia. And always we ask, what's your #1 challenge? And we want you to rank your challenges, and the top 3 challenges today, #1, meeting the demand, the increased demand for electricity. #2, enhancing safety. And 3, integrating distributed renewable resources. So I just want you to know this research is completely independent of Todd's talk. But you can see the correlation. And then when we asked, well, what are your challenges going to be in the next 5 years? The answers were the same thing. And some of them tied for first, but it was about meeting demand, increasing safety, integrating renewables, and then tied for third was improving customer engagement and addressing the skills gap. We'll talk about that in a little bit. So then I just wanted to dig a little deeper because I had heard, hey, the grid's going to double, triple, what's happening? So we asked, what's driving growth? And 40% said data consumption for cloud computing and AI. So as great as it is, it's also creating a lot of this demand, followed by new and residential construction, sustainability initiatives, and then you can see the rest. Let's unpack that a little bit. Today, data centers worldwide consume 1% to 2% of overall power, but this percentage is likely to increase 3% to 4% by the end of the decade. And in the US and Europe, this increased demand will help drive the kind of electricity growth that hasn't been seen in a generation. And as you can see from this chart, the amount of energy demand from data centers will increase exponentially over the next 5 years. And of that demand, AI is expected to represent 19% of overall data center power demand by 2028, so not too far off. But let's kind of unpack it a little bit. Generative AI queries use 33 times more energy than a Google search. I mean, I was talking to somebody the other day and they were saying, oh my God, AI is so great. I can use ChatGPT to figure out what's for dinner based on the ingredients I have at home. I'm like, oh my God. Okay, but if everybody starts doing that, can you imagine? In 2026, data centers worldwide will require as much energy that's needed to serve the entire population of Japan with 125 million people. And on top of that, these water-guzzling data centers will also demand up to 5 million gallons of water daily, the same as a town of 50 to 100,000 people. So just taking a step back, we asked, where do you see AI in terms of what you're doing? And your peers see AI as a way to address challenges. And when we asked, 86% of utilities said AI machine learning was extremely or very important to help them meet their challenges. And let's talk about what those are. Safety first, right? Whether it's a hurricane or a squirrel that's eaten a line, or, you know, my daughter was in, she lives in South Carolina and was hit by the hurricane, and it wasn't even a city you hear about. And she starts sending me videos of in front of the house, huge tree, you know, huge, because they don't have big storms like this, huge tree down. Anyway, so safety is key. Business productivity we heard about, you know, improving consumer engagement. That was super cool about the conversational chat. I haven't heard about that one. That sounds pretty cool. With a better bedside manner too, I like that. Anyways, so the other thing that we were surprised to find out is, well, where are you on your journey? And 22% said, hey, we've got AI fully integrated, but the majority of people said, we are thinking about this, we have projects underway. And I'm just curious, I'd love to see a show of hands, how many of you are currently using AI? Wow, okay. And what about those of you that are thinking about doing it, or it's on a plan or a roadmap? Okay, great. I would love to hear where you're at in your journey during the conference, and I'm sure some of our executives would as well. So how are we using AI machine learning? Detecting and managing potentially dangerous situations. Excellent. Almost 50%. And you know, Todd talked about that with the wildfires. That's awesome. Also dealing with cyber threat detection and mitigation and predictive maintenance, so you can get ahead of things like Tom mentioned. If there's a gas leak or a water leak, I mean, water, people think water is so damaging. I mean, flooding and stuff, it's not fun. This was also mentioned this morning by Tom. AI and machine learning won't be able to deliver that business value without the quality and trustworthy data to feed it. So for this, edge intelligence endpoints like sensors and AMI meters are key. And when we asked how AI can improve edge intelligence, number one was real-time anomaly detection, which goes back to safety, followed by distribution system efficiency, which is great, and then dealing with demand response and load shedding and shifting. We also asked, what are all the benefits? What do you see as the benefits of AI machine learning at the grid edge? And we had kind of a three-way tie, and I think all of these answers make perfect sense. Reducing energy waste, helping us achieve our sustainability initiatives, predictive maintenance, you know, you see, and these other points that I've touched on earlier. So this is all great. So what are our biggest barriers? The biggest hurdle is implementing AI and machine learning is the expertise, right? 43%, there's a huge skills gap. Huge skills gap, and I think we have a huge opportunity to attract a new talent pipeline, and we need to promote that working in energy and water is exciting and important work, and more importantly, it's cool. So That's something that we need to work on as an industry, and we're very passionate about it. The other thing that I wanted to mention is the fact that just all the costs, data governance, standardization, unproven technology was another big barrier. And a lot of these things we're going to be discussing this week during the conference. And so we asked, well, what would be helpful, right? Hey, we need more proven technology. We need consulting and support. We need regulatory support. And we also need to get educated about the latest trends, products, and learning from each other. Now, I do want to put a plug in for Dr. Michael Weber's talk tomorrow. He is going to be doing a fantastic talk on gas and electricity and water trends and AI and grid edge intelligence, and he's going to wrap it up. And he's also giving away copies of his book. So if you're brave enough to ask a question, you will get a signed book. But no pressure, Dr. Weber, no pressure. But anyways, getting back to just getting educated, getting inspired, being bold, figuring out how we're going to solve challenges and create a better world for our communities. That's what this conference is all about, and that's what we hope that you will be able to get this week while you're here. So no matter where you are in your journey, we all hope that you continue to learn to fly. Thank you.